Hey, what's up? I want to talk about sort of food storage. How much do you need in a sort of survival situation or perhaps a grid down situation where the stores won't have any more food left? You know, it's common knowledge that the stores, they don't really have a lot of storage space anymore. So they basically have about 3 days worth of food on hand at any time. If those supply lines get disconnected for any reason, you know, loss of gasoline, who knows what, there could be like a lot of different things that could cause that to happen. You know, the shelves will be empty in 3 days, and trying to get the food at that time is going to be a nightmare because everybody is going to be going to the stores to pick up what they need for their families. You know, every time that there's like a big hurricane or something like that coming to, say, like the Southeast United States, Florida or whatever, people run to, you know, Walmart or all the other stores to pick up. It's always the same thing. It's like bottled water, flashlights, and, you know, probably food and things like that. You know, just all the things that we should have on hand, and most people don't day to day. So you don't want to be out there with the crowds of people trying to get food, you know, and it's going to be ugly, and you're not going to be able to get everything that you need. So obviously it's important to store food at home. This is my food storage right now. It's basically, it's not perfect, it's not super scientific. I actually did try to go through it at one point and sort of like add up different nutrient groups, like how many calories did I have in total, how many carbs, how many fats, how many proteins, and so on. And that turned out to be quite tedious, and I do kind of dip into it from time to time. Like if I'm going camping or something, I'll probably take something out of here because it's all like easy stuff to prepare. So I kind of got away from like actually calculating out how much is in there, but there's a lot of stuff in there. Like this is probably a 40 or 60 liter roughneck container, and it's pretty much full. And I've got things like tuna fish, canned vegetables and fruits, you know, potatoes that are dried out, dehydrated potatoes, Mr. Noodles you can see there, chocolate bars, etc. So there's a decent balance, I would say, of like fats, proteins, and carbs. It's not perfect, but I have something. So anyways, I just want to run through some calculations now and introduce you to something called basal metabolic rate, which is basically the amount of calories that you need to survive and maintain your body weight under different scenarios. This is basically a calculation to determine how many calories you need to live without losing any weight. And what it's dependent on is 3 different factors. A, B, and C, your height, your weight, and your age. So I've performed a calculation here to demonstrate how this works, but basically the formula is your height in inches multiplied by 12.7 plus your weight in pounds multiplied by 6.2, subtract your age in years multiplied by 6.8, and then you add 66 to it and you get the total amount that you need per day. So the example I've ran through here is a 6-foot male, 200 pounds, 30 years of age. So when you run that calculation out, what you get is 2,016 calories per day, assuming that person is doing nothing at all. Like they're just sitting around all day, not being active. That is the base amount of calories they need before they start losing weight. Assuming that they're very active, you multiply that by 1.4. And what very active means is you're doing about 60 minutes worth of exercise per day, 7 days a week, and when you multiply that out, you get the requirement is 3,024 calories per day. And that's, again, to maintain that body weight. Of course, your height and your age are not going to change day to day. But yeah, that's the amount of calories you need. So here is the calculation for women. It differs a little bit than the calculation for men, but the idea is basically the same. So what you do, basically just the multipliers are what's changing. So for the height in inches, you multiply it by 4.3, add that to the weight in pounds, multiply it by 4.4, subtract off the age in years, multiply it by 4.7, and then you add 655 to the end of the calculation. So for the example here, I've done a woman who is 30 years old, 120 pounds, and 5'3". So if she's doing nothing at all, she needs 1,313 calories per day. And if she's very active, 7 days a week, doing 60 minutes of work, she needs pretty close to 2,000, so 1,969 per day. Okay, so now I'm going to run through some various scenarios, you know, and just sort of see how different people at different age groups and different weight would fare in a survival situation with limited calories. So what I want to compare now is a large man versus a smaller man. So what we've got in this situation is a guy who's 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, versus a guy who is 150 pounds and 5'6", and they're both 30 years old. Okay, so if they're at rest, the big guy needs around 2,000 calories, the small guy needs around 1,600. If they're active, aka working hard for 60 minutes a day, 7 days a week, that daily amount goes up to 3,024 for the big guy, 2,445 for the small guy. So what I would like to extrapolate is in a survival situation, or a grid down situation with limited food supplies, you might find yourself rationing your food, and in fact you will definitely, to maybe say 1,500 calories a day. So what happens if you work hard every day, 60 minutes a day, for a month, but you've only got 1,500 calories a day to eat? How much weight are you going to lose? So the big guy is going to lose 13 pounds, and the small guy is only going to lose 8 pounds. So here we see an advantage for the small guy. It just takes a lot more calories to power a bigger, heavier body. So in my estimation, a smaller person, with everything else being equal, that person is going to survive for longer with less food. Okay, so in this example, we're going to look again at the big guy, but what we're going to do is compare somebody who's 30 versus somebody who's 60. And you can see the older guy's got the cane there. Hopefully most of us won't need canes by the time we're 60, but it's just a graphical thing. Okay, so the stats remain the same for the big guy. He's going to lose 13 pounds when he is working hard, 60 minutes a day for 30 days with only 150 calories to replace all those calories burned. The old guy is going to only lose 10.5 pounds, doing the same amount of work for that 60 minutes a day. So, in terms of weight loss and everything else being equal, again, the old guy comes out ahead over the younger guy. Just younger, bigger people burn more calories. So I don't want to, skew reality here, but I'm just talking about things in a very sort of abstract way. Like, the fact of the matter is, the young guy in 60 minutes can probably get a lot of work done, or at least more work than the older guy. So the total work done is going to be much greater on the left side versus the right. But, everything else being equal, if they work for that amount of time, ignoring the amount of work that actually gets done, the old guy is going to lose less weight. Okay, so what about a big guy versus a sort of average-sized woman, or perhaps a little tall? So we got the guy who is, they're both 30. The woman is 120 pounds, the guy's 200. He's 6 feet, she's 5'6". So at doing nothing, you got the guy around 2,000, the woman is around 1,300. Being very active, 60 minutes a day, 7 days a week, you got the guy around 3,000. The woman is around 2,000. Okay, so how are they going to fare in terms of weight loss if their diet is restricted to 1,500 calories a day over the course of a month? The man is going to lose 13 pounds. The woman is only going to lose 4.5 pounds. So the woman comes out ahead, everything else being equal. The thing to consider, of course, again in this example, just like the old man versus the young man, is that the man is going to be able to do a lot more work in that 1 hour period than the lady is. So if you truly want to make things equal, you would have to sort of say that the man could get the work done in less amount of time. Hence, it would take him less calories probably, and he would lose less weight. But everything else being equal, the woman is going to lose, about 1/3 almost of the weight that the man is going to lose over that period if they're both working hard for an hour a day. So, hey guys, after running through those calculations, you can definitely see that some people have advantages over others, and biggest and strongest might not be the best, actually, in some situations. We found that the bigger guy ended up losing out in most situations versus the woman, versus the smaller guy, and versus the older guy. He always required the most calories. If you're young, big, you're going to need more calories than anybody else. And in a restricted calorie situation, you're going to lose a lot of weight faster than other people. So what I wanted this to sort of stimulate was just the need for food storage in general, the need to tailor that food storage according to the needs of your family or, you know, whoever is in your group. If you're a woman, a man, old, young, it all kind of factors into it. At the end of the day, more calories is good. It will allow you to live for longer. But under a survival situation, a grid down situation, etc., you are going to have to ration your food. You probably will be working hard because you can't just go to the store and buy whatever you need anymore. You're going to have to do it yourself, self-sufficiency. So you're going to be burning a lot of calories, you're going to need to replace them, and you are going to lose weight. There's no question about that, but it's just a matter of how fast are you going to lose that weight. Thanks for watching.